You are now tuned in at rareflavor.com, detached from the masses. For Apache Grosse's release of his song, Chains, the music video will be dropping very soon. Be on the lookout and make sure you follow Apache Grosse on Spotify and Instagram. Thank you so much and have a great day. Detached from the masses. Big thank you to Apache Grosse for being here. Apache, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Big thanks for you having me here.
Dude, totally, all day. Tell us a little bit about your new song, Chains.
Yeah, so really excited about this one. Guys, I just dropped my last project for 2019, Chains. Really different from the style of music I'm used to being known for. Usually electronic, alternative R&B. This is definitely going to sit more in the blues realm of things.
Okay.
And I'm happy to say it's 100% live instrumentation.
Wow, so you did all the instruments yourself?
Well, no, so that's the best part. I have an amazing team. Shout out to John Marino, one of my first homies I made music here with in Chicago.
Yeah.
He played the guitar.
Whoa.
He played the drums. My homie Boyan came through and played bass. And then my boy Bryce Cashman came through and played the whirly piano.
Wow, that sounds like a production. So you're like kind of like Beethoven.
Oh, no, not me. I'm trying to emulate the greats, but I couldn't do it without an amazing team.
That's fantastic. So I got a sneak peek of the video. Can you tell us a little bit about the production of the video and the story?
Yeah, definitely. So really excited. October 25th, the visual experience of Chains is going to be coming out. I did this with Brian at Pogi Studio. Shout out to Brian, one of my original homies here. We worked on Brooklyn Girl, my first music video way back
Dope
in the
video.
day. I appreciate that. But this is going to be also very different because usually there's travel and 15 extras and all this extra stuff. But this video is an expressional dance piece. Just me, my co-star Kara Hinready, and a warehouse. So, yeah.
That's what's up. And then, so I personally have noticed like your live shows and everything is just making you better. Can you tell us about your live show experience?
Yeah, so this summer was really amazing. I feel very blessed. More towards the beginning of this year, I think I was in a place of feeling very overwhelmed.
Okay.
And so I really kind of pulled away from doing live shows for a bit because the preparation, trying to get people to come out, all of this, I just felt like I couldn't handle at the time. But as soon as I felt like I started to just get back to living life, it's like opportunities started coming, and I'm playing like 3 or 4 shows a month.
Wow.
Couple sold out, played with some amazing artists, and yeah, it's been a great time.
That's good. Yeah, I think it takes a lot of skill and a lot of confidence to be able to do live shows and to get people out there and to have a good time. Any particular artists that you've worked with or that you want to work with?
Yeah, well, I definitely want to play a show with my boy Johnny. We keep saying we're going to do this, so now you're in an interview, so we got to get this taken care of.
Got to get it done.
No, I definitely want to really try to get into the circuit of opening up for some larger artists. Like, there's some awesome artists that come through to Chicago, and like that's where I want to try to slide in. Otherwise than that, I want to start curating events that aren't necessarily live shows, but have live performance, but is more around an idea of like community rather than like, hey, I'm playing a show, can you come watch me? Like I want to have something that's just a little bit more, still the ability to enjoy a performance, but has the ability for interaction in like more of a confined space. So I want to get experimental.
Yeah, like more collaboratory sort of. What is about this stolen stuff? What is that about?
Yeah, so it's some good tasty stuff. I really like this company. One of my boys, Adam, really put me onto them at an after party. I played at Sub T with Seb Torius. We had an after party at Blind Dragon, and they sponsored it.
Wow.
And it's very delicious. But they have such cool campaigns, and the company itself just focuses in on portraying art in, I think, a very authentic and refreshing way. So I had to hit him up, and I was like, hey, can I slide through the office? And
for sure.
Yeah, just trying to focus on progressing culture and progressing that idea of community here in Chicago.
For sure, and I want to acknowledge you for your work ethic. you know, you work a job, right? You work like a regular job and you make music. What is that experience like? What's a typical week look like for you?
Yeah, definitely. A typical week feels like a month. I usually wake up around like 6:30. I get a cup of coffee. I get in the shower. I get out the door by 7. And while I'm in my Lyft ride to work, I open up my laptop and I start working on music. I work the 9 to 5, hit a lunch break, work on music. And then when I get out of work, I usually try to keep myself booked a week out. So that way the second I get out, I can remember like why I'm working this job.
Yeah.
It's to progress this passion.
Yeah.
So I usually work until like 11 or 12 and then I just do it all over again.
Definitely want to acknowledge you for that. Hey, you got to be a little crazy in this, right? You got to be a little crazy in this. I'm really excited about Chains. I could honestly see this on MTV. You know what I mean? Like,
shout out MTV.
That's why I want to like acknowledge it, just because it's so well thought out. And what is like your thought process when you go into making a song? Like, how do you, like, what do you typically do to make a song?
Yeah, so for me, songs are created through inspiration and timing. So like I have about like 80 demos, but how I get to the point here is something inspires me. So for this, Chains actually just started as a jam session with my boy John. He just played this blues riff, and I started just letting my emotions and my ideas and expressions of life come out into a freestyle. And then I was like, wow, I think that we should run with this. So then that's usually how music starts for me. It's just a spontaneous combustion. But then just like when you're trying to start a fire, you may have a spark, but you have to take time and nourish it so you can become a big flame.
So you're saying you kind of have to capture the star and then make the stars align.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely another way of saying it.
Wow. And I remember I was over here at one of your after parties, which was amazing. And we were freestyling and stuff like that. And I remember this one girl saying, oh, like when she first saw you, she's like, oh, like he reminds me of The Weeknd. And I was just like, oh, I just kind of chuckled. You know, I thought it was just kind of funny. But what goes through your mind when somebody makes a comparison about you, whether it's The Weeknd or whether it's another artist that's talented?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, The Weeknd, like, I understand it, right? I don't take offense, because, like, we draw comparisons all the time to try to put a perspective together, and The Weeknd was literally, like, the godfather of, like, the type of music that I make.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, even for me, like, The Weeknd was one of my favorite artists at a point in my life, and House of Balloons, when it came out, I feel like reshaped a young boy's life.
Sure.
So I can understand where the comparison comes from. Obviously, the goal is to try to not just sound like one person, but to try to sound like music in general, you know? Like, when people say like, oh, you sound like Miguel or something, I'm like, dude, dope. We have two artists now that I sound like. But yeah, I want to be compared more to the greats of past times, you know? I want people to say that sounds like Michael or like Lenny Kravitz or like Prince, and then have my own energy put into like a new sound. And I hope that one day someone's like, oh, that sounds like Apache Grosse.
Yeah. What do you think is something that's often misunderstood about you as a person, just like in general?
Yeah. So I can definitely come off like arrogant at times because I can be like very nonchalant and it seems like I don't care, but I like really do care. I just have this weird thing about the way I think we should behave around each other. So like I am usually pretty chill, like depending on who it is. 'Cause I'm a believer in energy too. So like when I see someone, I don't feel the need for all these formalities. I care about you. I want to know who you are as a person, but I don't think that we need to be like so buttoned up in like the way that we carry each other.
Makes sense. You know, you make music. What's your favorite song that you've made thus far?
I think it's Chains. Like I really do enjoy it. It's Chains or it's some stuff that I haven't released yet.
For sure.
But, you know, that's on the zip.
Well, I can see the progress you've made over the last 2 or 3 years, and just major shout out to yourself. You know, like just putting in the work, working the job, and putting your pieces of the puzzle together. What's your goal like for the near future? Like, what does your progression look like for you?
Yeah, so the reason this is going to be the last project of 2019 is for any of you guys who were there at the beginning, you know that I started my career with a EP called After Her.
Okay.
And since then, I have been writing the continuum of that story, which is my life. And it's been almost a year and a half to 2 years. So I'm really focused at the end of this year to finish writing that story. So that's where I'm putting all my energy towards. It's getting back in and trying to work on an actual project rather than just these short like moments in my life.
That makes sense. Well, I'm really excited for you. I'm really excited for this project. It's fantastic. You know, you guys work really well together. I'm really excited for the video to drop, for people to see your true talents and the work you put into it and the professionalism, man. So I just want to acknowledge you and thank you for doing this interview and getting your music out there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it 100%, Chris. It's an honor to be on Raw Flavor.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime you want to come through and make a beat, let's do it.
Let's go.
And that goes for everyone out there. Like Apache Grosse, hit me up. This doesn't happen by itself. It happens
Apache Grosse.
A collection of people working together.
You got to subscribe to his YouTube channel if you want to see this video.
October 25th.
Get on it because it's very well done. It deserves all the publications it could possibly get. So thank you so much.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
You're welcome, dude.
All right. Awesome.